Supergirl's official box office opening has been confirmed, and it's lower than Joker 2.
Oh. Oh, that's bad.
Supergirl opened even lower than it originally projected. Remember, the projection was 55 to 67 million. That high end of the initial projection, it barely made half that. There's no denying that Supergirl is currently flopping at the box office. Why, thank you for stating the obvious. But the following yesterday's initial results, the DC movie opening weekend take has been confirmed and is actually doing worse than we first thought. On Monday, June 29th, many outlets reported that Supergirl had earned $38 million in the U.S. over opening weekend. However, now it looks like the superhero film only scraped $37.1 million, according to Box Office Mojo, which go to buy the numbers. They're better. Box Office Mojo is no good anymore. That means that Millie Alcock's first outing as Kara Zor-El is not only doing worse than Sony's Spider-Man spinoff Morbius, which is widely known as one of the worst superhero movies ever. Not anymore. I'd rather watch Morbius. It has Matt Smith. But also DC's Joker 2 officially, and that one's pretty fucking bad. I would not watch either of these.
No.
Joker 2 is shit. The sequel opened at 37.6 million and scored a measly 31% on Rotten Tomatoes. But 9 more years till it becomes a underappreciated classic. This is pretty hard knock for James Gunn's new DC, as Supergirl is just the second movie in the DCU Chapter 1, but the team still seems confident in their overall plan. On June 28th, DC Studios co-head Peter Safran made a statement telling the New York Times, while Supergirl didn't meet our box office expectations, it's just one component of a broader long-term strategy at DC Studios that we remain confident in. Your 8-year plan? Your 8-year plan, Peter Safran. It is what it is. It's a component of the long-term strategy that will be a short-term strategy once Ellison fully takes over Warner Brothers and you're cooked. There's no way they survive this, Chris. It's not clear why Supergirl is flopping so hard. What?
I mean, look.
What? Wait, hang on. Did you hear that? It is not clear why Supergirl is flopping so hard.
Because they don't want to tell the truth. Hollywood is so full of shit. They have to make up lies to justify what's happening. Like, all the excuses for why Supergirl failed. It's just pathetic. Do they even, what's funny is things will come around. Well, the trades will finally be saying what we've been saying about this movie. It was kind of doomed from the start. I think it was doomed when we saw that end scene where her character was introduced. That's your Supergirl. They couldn't even, I'm trying to remember who said that Superman is just Clark all the time. There was a Badger, Angry Badger.
Badger, RMB, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. They were all saying, and I couldn't agree more.
He's just Clark. And there are multiple characters. There's Clark persona, Superman persona, Kal-El persona. There's the person Clark is to his family, which is a different version of Clark from work Clark, right? There's who he is to Ma and Pa Kent or Lois Lane when she knows who he is. So it's a nuanced performance. When you go back and watch the Donna original, Christopher Reeve is not given enough credit for that. And he could figure out, Gunn could figure out how to do Clark, but not Superman. And that's when people saying that's not how Superman would act. I get now I really see it. It's so hard to unsee. And there is no, does Kara have an identity that's not Supergirl? It's just so.
Superman did well enough for the normies to have plausible deniability and they could run with this. Like, it's a hit. It was the summer of Superman. We're off to a great start. That bullshit ended the minute Supergirl came out. That's when that bullshit ended. This was happening even before Supergirl came out, but people are going back and looking at Superman with a more critical eye. And now that they see where this is going, because Superman led directly into this movie, that's why she called him a bitch at the end. And I think there was a lot of, they'll fix the Jor-El thing and she'll go on a journey and become a good person by the end. None of that happened. As a matter of fact, Kara Zor-El is worse after this movie.
Yes.
She's worse. And so is Jor-El and Laura. And they basically framed that Kara's parents were better than Clark's parents. And that is now canon. That is your DCU. I'm a big fan like you. Like I've said before, I own all the Superman movies. I would never own this. I would never watch it again. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't have it. I didn't buy it on digital. I happen to have HBO Max, so I could watch it, but I haven't. I saw it all of twice in a theater, and that I was done.
Yeah, it's not a memorable movie. These are not good. James Gunn is not a good studio head, and I'm not even sure. No, and he's not even a good director anymore.
Although I would argue that if he did direct Supergirl, it would have some moments. But even the thing he added, you've got Lloyd as a little thing. You've got the look. You've got like people on having earbuds, which led to the death of a family, the brother at the beginning.
Yeah, well,
the AirPods.
we did it. Yeah, when Little Platoon comes out with this video in 4 months, he will break down all of these inconsistencies because we talked about. Because we had this shit in Star Trek too, 1,000 years in the future. But apparently, all these advanced civilizations still use earbuds and ride motorcycles with like rubber tires that look like they're made on Earth. And they're singing Earth songs.
It's too connected to our world. It doesn't feel otherworldly. That's what made the original Star Wars, when it came out, at the time it came out, so incredible. There wasn't much of a connection. There were basic connections, traveling by vehicles, but the simple things. But there were like, there were droids, but there were droids not based on humans. There were droids based on alien races, which is just so amazing.
But in this one, it just felt like, oh, I guess we've colonized other planets because they're just using a bunch of. They're singing "I'm in Heaven" in an alien, cantina bar number 3.
Well, one of the worst moments, which I could not stop laughing yesterday, Gary, with that the middle song, that needle drop was Gunn's choice.
Yes.
And it so diminishes everything. And then adding it, all the, oh my God, I have been dying on X watching all the different. I want to see Schindler's List with that.
I thought about that.
That one.
Okay. Because that one crossed my mind because I got back from my little road trip and I asked Az, I'm like, has anybody done Platoon yet? Like I asked, and I didn't see it. Maybe somebody did it, but I didn't.
No, someone did do it.
And
they
then
did Platoon.
And then I did my own version of Platoon. And then I ended up making it kind of hit. Like I didn't mean to, but like I lined up the music because I try to I'm an editor. So you want your beats to hit the beats of the music. Didn't do it all the time, but at the end it kind of hits. And I'm like, oh shit. So
and I can't believe it. And I love people doing Snyder, like the Batman warehouse scene or other scenes.
That was great. No, so somebody's done Schindler's List. That's wonderful.
Please do Schindler's List. I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, I have.
You have?
Someone did it to the moment because I've not watched it. That they go into the oven, I guess, and yeah.
Oh my God.
No,
I was thinking like the girl with the red dress. I wasn't thinking that.
And I was like, oh, I'm not going to show this. I don't.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Hey, we didn't get hit for showing them.
No, we didn't. That was crazy.
That's crazy. But yeah, it's so disheartening. It's really what it shows is a lack of self-awareness. I mean, I know what I'm good at. I really know a lot of what I'm not good at, which is a lot of things. So
same here.
You would think you got to have that kind of self-awareness and humility to be a leader.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a Jimmy Eat World song in early 2000.
I mean, you've had conversations with James Gunn, and before, like everybody said, pretty good guy.
He was at the time that I knew him. I knew him up until he made Guardians, and even a little after. And we had a message exchange when he got canceled. That's the last time.
I think he's super bitter that he got canceled.
Yes, that affected him.
And I think it fundamentally changed him.
That and success.
And I think DC came to him and just gave him the world. and he started like really just thinking his farts smelled great. And that happens to a lot of people. And I know he's controlling on set, but I mean, actors love working with him for the most part.
He's very loyal to the people he likes. I think it's very telling he didn't bring Rainn Wilson, who starred in Super and which helped get him the job, which got him the job for Guardians of the Galaxy. He hasn't worked with him since that. You'd think you'd give him a bit part or a line. I mean, he could be a Marvel sort of side character, but he didn't. So he's loyal to the people who, and I have a theory about that, is that James likes to work with people who just do what James says.
Yes.
And
he doesn't like to be questioned.
He doesn't like to be questioned. Even I remember during the promotion for, a Superman, it was like, we believe in James Gunn, faith in James Gunn, everything. The promotion of Superman was all about James Gunn.
Well, he became the face of the DCU, and that was their first mistake. First of many is Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman should be the faces of the DCU.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've gone over this again, but I think it's done after Man of Tomorrow. So the DCU will have been film-wise Superman, Supergirl, Clayface, Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And there's no basis. And again, I said this yesterday, but people bringing up Hulk coming after Iron Man. Let's not forget that Iron Man was the most talked about movie of the year, one of the most surprise hits of the year, universally loved. There was no fighting in the audience and there was no gaslighting. It was, this movie's rad, and it still remains top 3 Marvel movie of all time. So Hulk coming out and not doing as well didn't hurt that because it was already off to the races with Iron Man. You already had it. And plus, Hulk is a universal thing, and that's why they haven't done a solo Hulk movie. Because for some reason, Marvel can buy Fox, but they can't get the rights back to the Hulk. I don't think they think it's worth it, to be honest with you. And then, people are talking about them getting, I know Flash mentioned it. I don't believe this is true at all. They want to, I'm sure they want to get the rights to Spider-Man back, but Spider-Man would cost them as much as Marvel cost them when they bought it.
Yeah.
Just one character. So I don't think that's even possible. I don't think Sony would be stupid enough to do that.
Which means Sony is going to make Spider-Man movies forever.
Yeah. And why not? Why would they give up, all their other movies were shit, but Into the Spider-Verse and the Miles Morales movies, they did well.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't pay their animators, and that's why that movie, the third one, was supposed to be out by now.
Isn't it next year now? I think it's next
year. Yeah. So back to, it is not clear why Supergirl is flopping so hard. It actually is. Yes, it is true that the movie has opened mixed reviews. It's not really mixed, because if you go through the corporate critic ones, for the most part, even the ones that gave them positive, it's like very mid. And it is not as widely loved as last year's Superman, which was not as widely loved as you're making it out to be, which opened to 125 million domestically. It had a really good domestic run, by the way. Let's not take that away. It had a very good domestic run, not a very good international one. But the film's mediocre 56%. That's rotten, by the way. Score on Rotten Tomatoes is not the worst in the world. However, many fans are complaining about the lackluster storyline and one questionable needle drop. Now, listen, the needle drop is, as Chris said, probably the worst needle drop in cinematic history. It doesn't bring down the entire film. The entire film is brought down by a main character who is not super, who is not a hero, doesn't put on her costume until the very end of the movie, is completely unlikable from beginning to finish, and is a super skank, basically. Didn't change at all. It's a muddy looking film. It's poorly put together. It's a bad copy of a bad James Gunn movie. And it will be in VOD. I said it in my video by the time Spider-Man comes out.
You gotta put a post out and say bookmark this, like, because it'll be true. Yeah,
I said it in my video. I think that's good. I mean,
Superman came out within 30 days, right?
Superman 31 days.
Yeah, so
I think
timing lines up.
I think Supergirl 30 days. You think, Chris?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, it ain't doing no 45 days.
No.
and they're going to be taking it out of IMAX screens. But I did want to share this because according to James Gunn's wife, Jennifer Holland, who's James Gunn's wife, said that Man of Tomorrow might be James Gunn's best movie yet. It feels like a step up to me in a lot of ways. I'm excited for people to see it, and he's not done filming it yet. So it's a step up. So did she not like Superman?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe because she wasn't in it.
I got to say, look, the costume Corn Sweat looks a lot better. I thought that was AI. Is that a costume from the
I
movie?
don't know. I mean, this is Marvel Hollywood Handle. Sorry. It could probably be I don't know. I know the set photos, the costume doesn't look good. I love the idea of the trunks being on the outside, but man, I hate the collar. I hate the frumpiness of it.
Yeah.
That's done specifically. That's another choice to make it look kind of goofy. Like that's their whole point, was to make it look goofy so he's not threatening, because we can't have a confident masculine Superman. We have to have a guy who slouches. I mean, like a guy who's Clark Kent all the time.
Yeah.
It's the most predictable flop of the year. Like everybody knew this was going to happen. Like this was the Marvels, Snow White, The Acolyte. These are very predictable things through pattern recognition. And if people are shocked about this, it's because they don't pay attention, or they get caught up in just a lot of corporate critics and Angry Joes of the world get caught up in other people's opinions so much that they can't rationalize their own because they're so worried about other people's opinions. I don't concern myself with that. I don't care if people like Supergirl or Superman. It doesn't bother me, right? You can like a movie I don't like, and we can still be friends. I'm not going to melt down for 3 years because somebody said something bad about Furiosa. I don't know, Chris.
I just don't get it. Like, why people, like, we all have different taste. You don't like sushi. I like sushi. I like the movie RRR. You never saw it. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? I'm just saying,
still might.
But it's okay. Like, we all have different taste. I don't get the mentality of an Angry Joe. And I only saw him because he turned up in other people's videos. I've never watched that guy. But why is he so invested in some corporation's success and his own opinion? He didn't like it. He didn't like Supergirl, but still wants you to go see it. Who the hell does that? I know you don't like sushi, Gary, but try this, spicy tuna. You would hate it. Although actually, I think if you got to, you like sushi, X-Ray Girl?
I love sushi. So good.
I don't eat it all the time, maybe once a week, but I like it.
I had a chance to eat like real sushi in Japan, and
he chose KFC.
I chose KFC.
KFC. Did you get the bucket? Did you get the crypto bucket?
Buckets. I didn't get the crypto bucket.
The KFC there's really good, by the way.
Yeah, the McDonald's pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But is Angry Joe still melting down? Do we get 9 days? Is it 10 days in a row? Maybe he stopped.
Well, I just don't understand. And I really like that, like Alan and I disagree about things all the time, but we have different tastes. So you can align with me on a movie or him, or maybe get a recommendation. You may not have thought you would like this movie, and you discover something. I love the sense of discovery of different tastes. And in the nerd world, as you're well aware, no one person can know everything. I've been going to Comic-Con since 89, 90 was the first year when it was at the college. It was a much smaller event. Anyways, and then mid-90s, it moved to the convention center. It's been there ever since. But everybody's got different knowledge set. We would hold up in like the Marriott hotel bar, sitting all around each other in a big circle and just talk shit, nerd talk. This is before podcasts were a thing. I know, Gary, you did the same thing at a comic shop or whatever. When you get a bunch of nerds together, they'll be fighting and debating and, I didn't know about that. Or have you read the fifth book in the Dune series? I didn't like those, or whatever. No one can know. Now, one person can know everything, but a lot of people do have like an area of expertise. They kind of like, well, I'm about comics of this era. I saw Joseph Kahn put out an interesting post about the reason he thinks superhero films now are failing. I could find it.
Find it.
He says basically that the audience has aged out.
Yeah, yes.
Audience has aged out.
I completely agree with that. That's
and
what's
they're
happened
not
to
making new fans.
That's what happened to Star Trek. Was the first audience that started aging out, and that's why they went to the J.J. Abrams, but it really didn't help. Doctor Who didn't age out because when they came back with New Who, they got an entire generation of new fans, but then they fucked it off at the end, which is a shame. Star Wars was doing great. But they, over the course of a decade, they've destroyed the greatest cinematic IP of all time. And when it comes to comic books and superheroes, that's an audience that's aging out. The next generation is going to be into the new Spider-Man is One Piece. Whether people like to hear that or not, I mean, it's like worldwide, it's immensely popular. You might have heard of it, and it's because manga and anime took, I can't say all, but took a large portion of the comic book market share that games hadn't already taken for that age sect and you know the young men that they wanted to get into it because they're the ones who, and by the way, manga is read by a lot of women too, because it's not just soups, it's so many other things. It's what comics used to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Different genres. Romance comics. Right.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
Yeah. And you know, we can have our criticisms about the art, and it's like, well, you know, there's some pretty good manga art out there. There actually is. And there's some pretty shit American comic book art, like most of it now. And they're hanging everything on Absolute Batman, which is unquestionably popular. Not my thing, but right now, you know, DC Comics is Batman Comics, although DC is Detective Comics. But he's not wrong. All right, there may be a specific phenomenon happening to comic book movies. The audience is aging out. Much of the goodwill of Marvel was driven by boomer, Gen X, millennial men who actually read comic books, at least in the past tense. The stories are pulled from 1960 Stan Lee foundational stories, blended with early 2000 arcs, Ultimate Spider-Man, Infinity War, Civil War, New Avengers, Winter Soldier, Brand New Day. Let's not mention Brand New Day. One more day. Here's the problem. They've run out of arcs to mine because major comic books sucked after the 2000s. They are hitting a generational wall. The old ones have seen all the big stories, with perhaps Secret Wars being the last event left. And it's not even the good one. It's the one from 2016. Stories were replaced by gimmicks, deaths, reboots, identity swaps, anything to pump the stock. Subsequently, it doesn't help that the monthly comic book audience has collapsed. Now, the new generation, they don't read comics. They don't read comic books. They just know the movies. With the first Iron Man about to turn 20 years old. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's ancient history to them. And why should they care about comic books? How can anyone invest in a character when some editor kills them off every year and reboots a non-binary scroll or some shit?
Joseph Kahn is based, by the way, he's going to be on the Film Threat panel at Comic-Con.
Yep. Comic book movies are running out of audience because comic books themselves are running out of audience. He's right. It could have lasted a lot longer if they hadn't gone down the road they did. Yeah. And as much as the Angry Joes of the world want to cry that this isn't the case, it's because they sacrificed a bunch of great characters on the altar of the message. And I could point to Doomsday. You have Captain African American in the Captain America costume, and you have Chris Evans in his second last appearance as Captain America walking around in street clothes. Why in the fuck is he not wearing his Captain America costume? There's no reason. He is the iconic Captain America. So you are preventing yourself from doing an iconic thing in one of your biggest movies to not hurt somebody's feelings. What happened to what Robert Meyer Burnett said? This is show business.
Yeah.
This is show business. And that those decisions are what killed them. And nobody's reading comics because the same thing happened. Joseph, you collect comics. Same thing happened in the comics. So Hollywood is repeating the same mistakes as the comic industry from the last 10 years, and they're getting the same results. Fucking crazy, right? And it didn't take a genius to figure this out. We're like, oh shit. As soon as Captain Marvel showed up, most comic fans went, oh fuck. We're going into the all new, all different. And that's exactly what they did. And everything sucked because everything sucked in the comics. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Aging out. Yeah.
Joseph is great. Yeah. He's a filmmaker who made a really great horror comedy called Ick, starring Brandon Routh. You should check that movie out. Ick.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. You would love this movie. Really fun. And Brandon Routh does not get enough credit. I like
he was done dirty.
Yeah.
They should have actually written him some lines in his Superman movie. So this is still a rumor, by the way.
Uh-oh. Let's go.
It's time to break out the bat signal for James Gunn. So the Batman casting rumors. Now, again, I don't know if there's any credibility to this at all. I don't know who Beyond the Reporter is, but this name has been going around, and it's kind of piggybacking off of what John Campea said. Like he said he knew that Batman had been cast, but he couldn't say who, and the person surprised him, but he hasn't confirmed this. So this does he look like Batman?
That's our Batman. I thought he was supposed to
I don't know.
be older.
I that's what I heard too, but maybe they changed. He's going to be awfully young to be on his 4th or 5th Robin, depending on what continuity they're using. What do you think of Tom Brittney as Batman, Chris?
I don't like it. He's too young. Looks like he could have played
a pretty boy.
He is pretty boy. Oh my gosh.
It looks like he could have played Superman. That's a better photo. That's a better photo.
I mean, people are going to mention Robert Pattinson. It's like, okay, yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't call Robert Pattinson the best Batman in the world.
He surprised me though.
I thought he was all right. Yeah.
Okay. So he's 36 years old.
Yep.
He looks younger than 36. He definitely looks younger than 36.
Maybe if he grows a beard or something.
Here's the problem. You can cast Batman perfectly, and it's going to be in a James Gunn joint.
We are only casting this part right here. Just this area.
Yeah. The Batman movie that's going to be written by Christina Hodgson from Birds of Prey.
It'll be great.
Because they want to, for one, James Gunn is overseeing all this writing, by the way. So it's like a writer's room. But they want to say, oh, well, we got a woman to write Batman, and listen, a woman, if they want to pick a woman, then they should pick the woman who wrote Penguin. That's the woman you should be picking if you need to pick a woman, or I don't know, find just the best person for the job. But I can't say this is definitive. I haven't heard James Gunn, who normally does shoot these things down. Maybe he has, and I just didn't see it. Chat, so correct me if I'm wrong, please. But I think it's just a rumor right now, and I wouldn't put too much stock into it. But we'll see. It wouldn't surprise me if they ran out and started casting Batman to save their ass.
Nerderotic.com. Please subscribe.